key. And what you're seeing here is a mirage. We typically would not be able to see this from the Lake Michigan shore. We talked about this
the Chicago skyline from over 40 miles away. He admitted that. Science admits it. Everybody admits that you shouldn't be seeing the Chicago skyline from that far. Because according to globe earth math of 8 inches squared for every mile, the Chicago skyline should be over 1,000 feet below the curvature of the earth. So it's like if there was a hill, you can't see on the other side of the hill. You would have to go up the hill to see what's on the other side of the hill. You wouldn't be able to see it from, 40 miles away. So the meteorologist goes into this whole thing about how the warm air meets the cold air and it causes a mirage, and that's why you're seeing what you're seeing. And the flat earth community was not having that explanation. Now, your average person, they just listen to whatever some guy tells them on TV, whatever science tells them. Science tells you you're a monkey, you believe you're a monkey. Science says a rainbow exists because of this and that, well, then you believe them. Science tells you the sky is blue because of this and that, you believe them. Science tells you sundogs reflect the way they reflect, you believe them. They'll tell you anything and you believe them. I mean, they say life is a big accident, you believe them. It's just some big explosion of particles that just happen to be there and they exploded and now you're alive. And then you believe them. Well, what Rob Skiba did today is he released a video and he showed you how you can take a boat from over 40 miles away and keep your eyes and your cameras pointed towards the skyline and travel the entire trip. And the mirage never disappears. In fact, when you get right up to Chicago, you can clearly see that the buildings were there the whole time. And it was not a mirage whatsoever. And on top of that, this was done in the summertime. So about that cold air meeting the warm air and it has to be perfect conditions for this to be a visible mirage, well, that's debunked as well because this was done in the summertime. So now you have to start questioning everything science is telling you because science has told you a lot of stuff and they are lying to you. Now, are they lying on purpose? Probably not. Do you think this meteorologist guy was trying to lie to you guys? No. It was just that he knows that you shouldn't be seeing the Chicago skyline from over 40 miles away due to us apparently being on a globe Earth. So that went against everything that he was taught. So, of course, the mind will try to find excuses for these things. That's why when I mentioned rainbows, sundogs, the sky being blue, and all that stuff, science always tries to find explanations for things they don't understand. I mean, they don't understand dreams or anything, really, and they always have these explanations. So, basically, you guys are listening to authority figures that put themselves in a position to tell people things, and then you guys buy it hook, line, and sinker, just like a fish would with a worm on it. So it's time to really start thinking for yourselves, as I've been telling you guys for the longest. No more listening to these scientists and meteorologists just because they have a white lab coat or they're on TV with their combed hair. And just because they opened a book and read what the book says for explanations about whatever they want to provide evidence for does not make it true. Because the real evidence is what Rob Skiba did. And he jumped in a boat and filmed the entire trip. And you can see the Chicago skyline the whole trip. So now that's science. See, that's science because it's repeatable and it's observable. So the science community is really stuck on going into their books to find answers for everything because it was written in the book and the 8 inches squared miles of curvature formula that's been used forever because nobody ever checks into it. They just, it was written down by Albert Einstein or whoever. So there's no need for anybody else to ever question it. And that guy who invented evolution, they tell you you're monkeys. You guys don't question it. You guys feel like you evolved from an ape and you actually believe it. You don't question it. It's not repeatable or observable. It's just something that was written down in a book. And you guys are the first guys to say Christianity and religion is so wacko because we're believing things that was written in books. Well, the thing is, you guys are doing the same thing. And science is a religion. I had to break it to you, but that's what it is. It's a religion. You guys don't question anything in those books. You just take whatever's in those books and you base your knowledge off of that. And then on top of that, you guys will build off of false information. So you guys will go and say, well, this study right here concluded that this was that. So then you take that and then you build upon that information and add to that. And then you end up with more gibberish because you're building on information that wasn't correct in the first place. And nobody ever bothers to check. So a lot of science is pretty much pseudoscience. And the only good science is the science that we know is good. You know, there's good science and there's bad science. But you guys got both. So we can't throw the baby out with the bathwater, but you still got to know what to throw out, though. Got to throw out that dirty water because there's a lot of dirty water that you guys are using, and that water is bad science. And it's time for the Flat Earth community to get very active now. Start unsubbing from Freeman and who else? Alex Jones, Dabu7. Anything NASA releases, he says, oh, look what NASA found. And this is strange. Look what NASA found. It's like, hey, you guys got to hit these comment boxes hard. Anytime these conspiracy theorists talk about space, or anybody really, anytime any YouTuber uploads anything about space, you need to get on their pages and mention about Flat Earth and tell them about Flat Earth because they can't keep on getting away with this stuff. Unsub from them or something. Dislike, do or all of the above because they're continuing to push this NASA stuff, this outer space stuff. It's time to start shutting all that down because there's too much proof going on right now in the Flat Earth community for them to be ignoring it. And they're ignoring it as if it doesn't exist. We cannot continue to allow Paul Begley and Dabu7 tell us about the latest NASA discovery. It's just, it can't happen anymore. We got to get them to wake up somehow. And I don't know what else could make them wake up more than to unsub from them and to hit their comment boxes and tell them why we're unsubbing and why we're disliking. And if they're going to continue to ignore Flat Earth and act like it doesn't exist, I mean, Dabu7 has not even mentioned Flat Earth. And the thing is, I'd appreciate more if they would at least say something about it. You could say, hey, you don't agree with Flat Earth, or say, hey, I'm neutral about Flat Earth or something. But the way they just ignored Flat Earth for the last year, and they added insult to the injury by uploading videos about outer space and Mars and all that stuff, well, that's starting to become pretty insulting. So we can't have that anymore. We're going to have to send them a strong message, a strong and clear message that we won't have it anymore. So let's activate this Flat Earth awakening and get everybody on board. This is the big one. This is the elephant in the room. And we're not going to be quiet anymore. We're going to be loud. We're going to get louder. More proof is coming out daily. I mean, I've been pushing videos for 6 months and I'm not even close to running out of information about Flat Earth to release. So this is the big one for anybody to just close their eyes and plug their ears and act like it's going to just go away. They have another thing coming. We're going to wake up the world. We're going to let everybody know about Flat Earth. They're going to see the evidence. We're going to change the world.